Finally, it has happened. Manchester United 3, Burnley 2. Manchester United bagged their first win of the season. And to be honest, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't beautiful football, but sometimes you have to play it dirty. Sometimes you have to play it like Diego Simeone. Sometimes you have to play it like Jose Mourinho. Just park the bus and play disgusting football. You know, of course, we created chances, but as I mentioned in my last videos, the efficiency is missing, and at the same time, yes, we won, and I'm happy that we won, but it was the most painful watch I have had to endure as a Man United fan winning a game. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But as I say, it was just a very, very painful one to watch. I'm happy about the win. Don't get me wrong, but I think in watching that game today, I have exposed Amrim and how he plays, and where I think it's going to cause some problems, slash already has caused problems, right? Now, looking at Ruben Amorim, right? He prefers a 3-4-3. He does his thing on the 3-4-3. You know, wing backs, this, that, and the other. But the key thing we have to focus on here with Ruben Amorim is the midfield. Of course, he said he wanted a couple players in the win. During the summer transfer window, which unfortunately did not happen. However, this fact I'm about to tell you might expose Ruben Amorim and might or will or has caused us some problems, depending on how you want to see it, right? So, if we look at that midfield, there's a midfield two of Casemiro, Ugarte, Mainu, and Ugarte, however you want to take it, right? Take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a pinch of pepper, whatever, right? But the main component of the midfield is the fact that there are two players in midfield, right? And if you look at other Premier League teams, they go with three midfielders, right? Okay, which often means we get overrun, which we saw today, which we saw at the Burnley game. By the way, a bit late with posting because, as I said in previous videos, I just didn't get time because I had a lot on. But anyway, so as I said, there are two in midfield, and we often get overrun because Premier League teams often take the option of having more than two midfielders. Sorry, mainly going with 3 or 4, which means we get overrun. Which ultimately, I wouldn't say it makes Amorim, but Amorim wants, for that reason, for the reason that we're being overrun, Amorim wants to push up the centre-backs. Which is a very risky play, as we saw at the Burnley game, as we saw with previous games, because in one way, yes, we push up the centre-backs and they compensate for the midfield, and on the other way, it leaves space at the back and it leaves the back line exposed, right? That is the reason why Burnley managed to carve through us and score 2 goals and have the chances that they had, alright? And I think, honestly, that might come back to bite him. I'm not gonna lie to you. The thing is, as I say, he pushes up the back 5, which ultimately leaves space at the back. But at the same time, he is a stubborn little bugger and just doesn't want to adapt, right? But ultimately, I think that's what's gonna bite us. Personally, because it, as I say, it leaves a lot of space. Yes, compensates for the midfield, but ultimately leaves a lot of space. Now look, I'm very, very happy with the win. Bruno Fernandes scoring a last-minute penalty, which, in my opinion, was not controversial. It kind of came to our aid, to be honest, because after we scored 2 goals, with Mbuemo getting a goal as well, I thought it would be put to bed. But again, it's ultimately all down because of the high line. Ultimately, that's the way you got to look at it. And I'm very, very happy, because it's our first win of the season, and it lifts a bit of that pressure off of Ruben's shoulders, right? Which I'm happy for him. I've been a Amorim backer from the day he came in, and I want him to succeed, and I want him to do well at United, and I believe if he has the competence to adapt to the system, which he hasn't proven up until now, but I'm still giving him faith, right? I reckon, his style of play will do well. But, we'll just have to see how that goes. Also, great goal by Mbuemo. Shout out Mbuemo. He's been playing really well ever since he put on our shirt. He's been doing absolutely amazing, absolutely cooked. Against Arsenal as well. Tore down that right hand side, caused problems, and was able to top it off with a goal today. Ultimately, also with Matheus Cunha getting injured, it is a blow for the City game. I don't know whether he'll make it back for the City game or not. But let's hope and pray, basically. Let's just hope and pray. Because Matheus Cunha, the same as Bryan Mbuemo, has been very influential. And yes, lads, I am really chuffed we have finally won a game. Because as I say, it's going to lift the pressure off of Amorim's shoulders. It's going to give the players some confidence. And you know what we need ahead of the Manchester Derby? We need confidence. Damn right. Because I personally think we can go and beat City at the Etihad for the fact that we create a lot of chances, and for the fact that their flipping defense is very, very shaky. Okay, so I reckon if we could add a touch of efficiency to the chances we create, I swear to God, it will be absolutely amazing. Because then, ladies and gentlemen, then we will start cooking even more. Like today against Burnley, we started boiling the water. But if we grab a win in the derby, we'll be cooking hot sauce. We'll be cooking curry and hot sauce, and we'll have some poppadoms with it as well if you want to. But listen, ultimately, great win, even though it was a very quite painful watch to endure as a United fan. But it's got us off the mark. We've won our first game of the season, and ultimately, I just want to, I'm confident, and I hope we can take this win and this confidence into the Manchester Derby. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel and turning on the post notifications so you don't miss any future videos of the best content creator in Austria, me, alright? And also turn the post notifications on so you don't miss my reaction to the Manchester Derby, ladies and gentlemen, that will be out shortly, alright? So, thanks for watching, and with that, it's Scotty out. Peace.